Detroit Lions beat the Minnesota Vikings in a gritty fashion, winning 31-29 in one of the best games of the year, in my opinion. And let's jump right into it. But first off, Jared Goff, not even going to say anything. We know it at this point. But Jake Bates. I mean, there's no more. There's no more. He is our kicker. He is our kicker. With 3-4 years of the struggling problems with bringing in Eldrick Rosas, bringing in Dominic Eberle, bringing in Ryan Santoso, the worst kicker I've ever seen. We have finally found our kicker. Shout out to Jake Bates, man. Let's get into it. Lions won 31-29. We are now first place in the NFC North. If we would have lost this game, we would have actually headed to last in the division. It's crazy how good our division is right now. Vikings, we finally forced the Vikings to lose their first game of the season. And here at the top, Jared Goff almost had another perfect day. 22 for 25, 280, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Shout out to Jared Goff. There's no more excuses. He is our quarterback long term. Franchise quarterback, there's no doubt about it. 100%. On to the running game. It's always like this every week. Jahmyr Gibbs, fantastic day. 15 carries, 116 yards, 7.7 yards per carry. 2 touchdowns. Drafted him on fantasy this year. And I'm 1-5 currently in the league, so I'm probably going to win this week because of him. So shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, why I said this happens every single week. David Montgomery, 9 for 31, 3.4 yards per carry. He ended the touchdown streak. He had like 5 or 6 games, maybe even longer than that, straight with the rushing touchdown. That now ends as he has 0 touchdowns. He also had a fumble loss that was crucial. That was a fumble 6 for the Minnesota Vikings late in the fourth quarter. Even though he still came back. But what I mean that happens every single week. Always both of them will play solid, but there's always one who just does phenomenal, and then the other one, has a decent game, but not blown over the moon. Like Dave Montgomery, 3.4 yards per carry, really was not that effective on the ground today. Did have some nice runs, but was a little bit quiet, and he also had the fumble. That's just what it is. Every other week, it's always someone new. Either Montgomery or Gibbs just pounding the running game. But Jahmyr Gibbs, finally nice to see him pop off a long run. He had a 50-yard touchdown run. That was his longest touchdown run of his career, or longest run of his career. So shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. On to the receiving game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. He has now had 3 consecutive games with 8+ receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings. That sets a new franchise record. So shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I believe that is his first game of the season with over 100 receiving yards. Jahmyr Gibbs was 4 for 44, always effective in the receiving game. Montgomery was 3 for 39. Wow, I just realized that our top 3 was St. Brown, Gibbs, and Montgomery. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Khalif Raymond had a solid day. He's starting to get on track and be more effective in the offense this year like I wanted it to be. 3 for 39, a touchdown. He had like 75 yards last week. Tim Patrick still being effective, 2 for 25. He's a great blocker, by the way. He puts his body on the line to make a good block. Love Tim Patrick. Laporta, again, only 1 reception, but it was a big, nice catch by Sam Laporta. So, I mean, if that's what it is, as long as he can make plays, as long as he can catch the ball, tight ends have been having quiet games this year. So Sam Laporta, and he's a great blocker. He's still been a great blocker this year. Just in terms of receiving game, he's been a little bit quiet. But as long as he can make the big catches in big crucial situations, that's fine with me. Jamison Williams, very quiet day. 1 reception for -4 yards. But it's Jamison Williams. He'll bounce back. He'll probably get like a 50-yard touchdown next week. So onto the defensive side of the ball. Keep in mind we were without. Oh, by the way, on the offensive side of the ball, we were without Kevin Zeitler for this game. He could not play due to getting hurt in practice this past week. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, Alex Anzalone, less than tackles, had 7 tackles, made 2 or 3 really, really good tackles. Kirby Joseph made a lot of good tackles. Rodriguez, I got to shout out to Malcolm. Malcolm had another sack. He is so underrated on this defense. Like, people don't understand. He's not a great rushing linebacker, but he can be effective in there. And also, just he's a great coverage linebacker. He's got some speed on him. And Malcolm Rodriguez, extremely underrated linebacker, extremely underrated on this defense. Shout out to Rodriguez. Jack Campbell finally having a breakout season this year. 5 tackles and a sack. He's been very productive this year. Josh Paschal had a sack his first of the season. He actually went down. He actually got hurt twice in the game, but came in both times. I believe it was a hamstring both times. Don't quote me on that. Brian Branch had another pick, bringing his total to 4 on the season, tying him with Kirby Joseph for, I believe, second in the league, behind Xavier McKinney, who has 5, was on the Packers. Trevor Nowaski got a sack. It was the final play of the game. They had to go for a Hail Mary. By the way, why was the Vikings able to get another play? So the Vikings completed a big pass to Jalen Naylor, I believe, for about 25 yards. It was going to be about like a 70-yard field goal. It was way too long for a field goal, so they had to go for a Hail Mary. But they only had like 4 seconds to spike it and run up to the line and spike it. They were all able to run up there and get lined up, but they weren't set. They weren't in their right positions, so they spiked it. There wasn't even time on the clock from what I saw, and it was an illegal formation. And I'm pretty sure in that situation, when that stuff is happening, that's a 10-second runoff. I don't know why. I was losing my mind. If they were able to convert that Hail Mary, I would have lost my mind. I would have broke everything in the house. I was so mad, even though we still won the game. That should have been a 10-second runoff from my eyes, and I still believe the clock already hit 0. Now, if it didn't, it still should have been a 10-second runoff, and the game should have been over. I'm confident I'm right on that one, that should have been a 10-second runoff. But Trevor Nowaski got the sack on the final play of the game. Shout out to Trevor Nowaski. Not a great pass rusher, but can make some nice plays at times. Very good special teamer. I'm glad he's here. And besides that, on the defensive side of the ball, not much really else happening. Isaac Uncle, by the way, is not it. He is not it. He's played 2 games now. Has not gotten much of any pressure, in my opinion. Pat O'Connor, I thought, looked pretty strong on the defensive line. I think he'll be a good Kyle Pecco replacement. He got signed to the 53-man roster yesterday. I could not make a video about it because I was not home at the time. And pretty much Carlton Davis, by the way, great number 1 corner. I love that we brought him here. 3rd-round pick we traded for him. It was definitely worth it, in my opinion. We got him and 2 6th-round picks in return. Carlton Davis having a very nice season. Amik Robertson, you can kind of say he struggled today. Allowed about a 25-yard touchdown to Jettis, and allowed some other receptions as well. But I still thought he played a decent game. And Jake Bates here, 1 for 1. It was a 40-yard field goal that he made. He also made 4 extra points. So he is now 10 for 10 on field goals this season, and he is, I believe, I have no clue where he's at on extra points. I have no clue, but he has only missed 1 extra point on the season. He has not missed a field goal. And if he makes, I believe, 7 more field goals on the season, he will become the new all-time Lions leader in consecutive field goals made. So, let's see if Jake Bates can do it. But shout out to Jake Bates. The UFL, I love that the UFL exists because he would pretty much guarantee it would not even be on a team right now if the UFL did not exist. So, shout out to Jake Bates, man. Jack Fox had some nice punts in there. Multiple kicks almost got blocked when we were punting, but Jack Fox was able to get them off. Let's take a look at the team stats. Total yards, 391 for us, 383 for the Vikings. You can't get any more close than that. Passing yards, 247 for us, 244 for them. Can't get any closer than that. Rushing yards, 144 to 139. Wow, that's crazy. 7 yards per play for us, 7.4 for the Vikings. 19 first downs for us, 16 for the Vikings. 3rd down efficiency, 4 for 10. 4 for 10. 4th down efficiency, we went 0 for 1. That was on a fake punt. We went for a fake punt very early in the game. I didn't hate the call. I actually called that out with my dad. I said I could see us going for fake punt. I don't really know what Sione Vacchi was doing on that. I don't know if that was designed or if he just decided to do that. I'm assuming it was designed. I did not like that design, though, at all, because that kind of, made them think that it was going to be a fake punt. I don't know why Germ was running the ball either. It should have been Vacchi or somebody else, because Germ is not fast whatsoever. So, but, hey, a win is a win. We got the win off of that anyway. But that was the reason that we did not convert that. Total plays 56 to 52. Sacks allowed 4 and 4. Oh wow, we really allowed 4 sacks. Thought we only allowed 2. I know one was on Taylor Decker. Coyote Owosika, won't talk about him filling in for Zeitler today. I don't really know why. They actually had Coyote at right and Glasgow at left. Glasgow, in my opinion, is way better at right guard than he is left guard, and KO'd is better at left guard than he is right guard, so I don't really know why they did that, but Coyote had a very terrible start to the game, had 2 back-to-back holding penalties, was not blocking well at all, but he did turn that around, did not have a penalty for the rest of the game, and held his own, I thought. 4 punts to 3 for the Vikings. Penalty yards, 8 for 49, 8 for 59. It was a lot of penalties, man. Clay Martin, man. We've already got him 2 or 3 times this year. He throws so many flags. It's so annoying to see him. Not because of him, just because of how much penalties they throw and how much they have to come and speak. Fumbles lost 1 to 0. Interceptions thrown 0 to 1. Time of possession 29 minutes and 3 seconds for us. 30 minutes and 57 seconds for the Minnesota Vikings. So the Lions get the one. I want to go over the Viking stats here really quick. Sam Darnold, we definitely held him, even though the stats might not seem like it. I thought we played a very good game with him. He only threw 5 incompletions, 260 yards. He did throw a pick to Brian Branch. Aaron Jones had a very good day rushing. I thought Jay Jettis had a very solid day, 7 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. He had a fantastic touchdown grab. Naylor had a good day. Addison was pretty quiet. He had a big catch there, big 50-yard catch. That's where he got all his yards from. And Andrew Van Ginkel got 2 sacks. I believe he's up to 5 at least on the season. And overall, and I guess Jonathan Greenard and Ivan Pace got the other ones. By the way, I want to shout out Will Riker. Very good kicker, by the way. Made a 57-yard field goal and went 3 for 3. So, Lions get the win, 31-29, beating the Minnesota Vikings, ended their winning streak, and the Lions take first place in the NFC North and first place in the NFC by a half a game. So, one pride, go Lions. The top 3 teams in the NFC currently right now are the Lions at 1, Vikings at 2, and the Green Bay Packers at number 3. So, we currently have the best division of football. One pride, go Lions. Time to move on to Tennessee and get healthy, get Zeitler back. And, yeah, moving on to Tennessee. One pride, go Lions. Heck of a one.